Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, man fatally shot by police in Manchester, residents angry. A man was fatally shot by the police during an alleged confrontation on Lucky Street, Knockpatrick in Manchester on Wednesday. Relatives and residents identified him only as Osa. Preliminary reports are that the incident happened about 6 p.m. at a house in the community. Police said a firearm was seized. However, residents are questioning the actions of the police as they claim the man was not killed in a shootout. He was sleeping, but the police say a shootout. No shootout no go so, said a relative of the victim. A child is said to be the man's son, who was reportedly at the house when the incident took place, was whisked away from the scene by the police. Them carry him away. Him dey drop down out and saw a cry. The little boy don't have a mother, him father gone now, said a relative of the victim. Other residents opted not to speak to the media, but also questioned the police's version of the incident. Video footage reportedly of the aftermath of the incident shows the police carrying the limp body of a man and tossing it into the back of a van before driving away. Meanwhile, the relative described the victim, a farmer and higgler by trade, as a hard-working man. Still no charges in murder of Clarendon teen found in pits. 3 individuals who have been held by the police on suspicion of involvement in the disappearance and the subsequent murder of Derica Rogers remain in police custody. According to news source, a woman and 2 men were taken into custody on Saturday, May 31. Up to Wednesday afternoon, they were still being questioned, and it is unclear whether or not charges will be laid. The 19-year-old sales representative's relatives had earlier expressed a concern as what they saw as the police's slow pace in apprehending an individual who is said to have seen her last. But the news sources stressed Wednesday that the trio were taken into custody before Rogers' body was discovered June 1 in a cesspit at an unoccupied property in Milk River. According to the police, Derica left her Gravel Hill Clarendon home Tuesday, May 27 to visit her boyfriend and was last seen at Milk River Bus Park in the parish capital, Maypen. Her father, Derek, reported her missing on Wednesday, May 28 when she did not return home, and attempts to reach her phone were unsuccessful. On Monday, the distraught dad told the news that the circumstances surrounding his daughter's death and how the Milk River police handled the case had left him hurting badly. You see, when we got the yard where the youth used to stay, we see 2 manholes. When we get permission to access the property, we called the owner, and she said 4 years ago was the last time she did any work on the building. So nothing new, not supposed to be there, he said. According to Derek Rogers, police and residents saw a fresh layer of concrete sealing a pit. The police made a call and them said they cannot pull the pit until tomorrow. And me get mad and start cuss and say, we are going to burn down the house. I saw them say, alright, we will open it. We say, alright, if them pull it and she not in there, we have to buy back the cement. We have no problem with that. From we pull the pit at the bag we see with the girl in it. That cut me up bad. Me no say a she. From we go there, we just connected to the pit. So you see, when them tell me say we couldn't open the pit until tomorrow, if you cut me, you no find no blood. Me tell them say, I know me want her, and then the people start going bad. Me know say she in there because me feel it. She in there from Tuesday and me decide say me want her now. I saw them open it, said the broken father as he chronicled the chilling details of how his daughter's body was recovered. Man on bail charged over seizure of 14 guns and 57 rounds of ammunition in St. Andrew. The police have charged 38-year-old Lamar Douglas, otherwise called Joe, of Patrick City, St. Andrew, in relation to last Wednesday's seizure of 14 firearms and 57 rounds of ammunition. Douglas was on Wednesday charged with 19 counts of possession of prohibited weapon, dealing in prohibited weapon, traffic in prohibited weapon, stockpiling prohibited weapon, conspiracy to traffic prohibited weapon, conspiracy to deal in prohibited weapon, and a conspiracy to stockpile prohibited weapon. The seizure was made during an operation on D-Side Avenue on Wednesday, May 28. Reports are that personnel assigned to the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division were on operation when 14 firearms, 12 magazines, and 57 rounds of ammunition were found. Douglas, who was out on bail in relation to another case, was arrested following the seizure. The police say they are seeking another suspect who evaded cops during the operation. Man charged with a sexual assault of 2 children in Old Harbor remanded. Ricardo Brown, the man charged in connection with the sexual assault of 2 children in Old Harbor last month, was remanded when he appeared before the St. Catherine Parish Court last week. He was remanded until July 25. Brown was charged on May 22 following an investigation into the abduction and the sexual assault of 2 minors. The 35-year-old resident of Prairie St. Anne has been charged with rape, sexual touching of a child, grievous sexual assault, and a forcible abduction. Mr. Brown has also been charged with unlawful detention with intent to commit sexual intercourse and unlawful detention with intent to commit grievous sexual assault. The St. Catherine South Police reported that the 2 girls, aged 9 and 10, were assaulted on May 7. According to police, the children were walking home from school in Churchpen around midday when they were approached by a man unknown to them. He allegedly forced them into nearby bushes, threatened to kill them if they raised an alarm, and sexually assaulted them. Brown was captured in a police operation in Dallas, St. Thomas on May 16. The police reported that he was previously convicted on sexual offensive charges in St. Thomas. Jamaican held with ecstasy in U.S. sentenced to 8 years in prison. A Jamaican man living in Cleveland, Ohio, was recently sentenced to more than 8 years in a United States prison for his role in trafficking more than 150 pounds or 68 kilograms of a popular party drug. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, 34-year-old Tony Nino Mitchell previously pleaded guilty to 1 count of possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance. He is to serve 8 years and 3 months in prison. Officials said in July of 2024, investigators with the Drug Enforcement Administration executed a federal search warrant at Mitchell's home in Cleveland, where investigators found about 70 vacuum-sealed bags containing colored rock crystal substances. These were later determined to be 70 kilograms of MDMA, also known as ecstasy or Molly. Investigators also found a loaded 9mm handgun, ammunition, a ledger notebook listing drug prices and money owed for drugs, more than $50 in cash, and 8 cell phones. The release from the police said the search warrant was based on a DEA money laundering investigation into Mitchell and others and had already resulted in the seizure of more than US $350,000 in suspected drug cash. Investigators determined that Mitchell was living in the U.S. illegally and that he had entered the country about August 2023. Job description and a code of conduct for parliamentarians approved. The long-awaited job description and a code of conduct for parliamentarians were finalized and approved in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Jamaicans have raised their concerns over unsatisfactory performance, including the absence of MPs during sittings of the lower house. Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Northeastern, Karen C. Morrison, who moved the resolution, said the approval is timely.
There are MPs who are absent from the sitting of the House for weeks or months while collecting full salary from Parliament. And it raises criticism when members whose absence, barring illness, is perpetual and chronic, signing maybe once every 3 months while appearing hale and hearty in public, going about regular business, politicking in the sun while they can't attend Parliament, it is barefaced. This is a move in the right direction where respect for the people who elected us will be made demonstrable by our attendance in Parliament. We can't be absent from Parliament, but we are out there politicking, risking a sunstroke. Thank you.
Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.